Alright, hello. What's up, guys?
Yo, we got a two-person video for you guys today. We're gonna be breaking down all the cards, tier list.
Yeah, for Swarm Mode, PvP.
So yeah, let's get it.
Alright, so we got the regular tiers, S tier, A tier, B, C, and D. First one on here we have Admin Reload.
Admin reload. I feel like that's pretty good. You know, your second or when you switch weapons, you're gonna reload automatically.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good too. It's honestly best in combination with other cards, so I don't think it's exactly S tier. You really need to have like 2 is better than 1 to make that like really effective, I think. So what do you think? B tier, A tier?
I think B. I think B is pretty fair.
Alright, next we got ammo for all. So I believe it's 10% ammo for your whole team.
Yep, and it reduces, or no, it doesn't have any negative consequence. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good, but I never really seem to need that ammo. If you have a Hoffman on your team, it definitely cuts out on the card a little bit too. I don't know, I wouldn't put it so high. I would say that's kind of like a lower tier card.
Yeah, I honestly never build this card. It's like, you do run out of ammo sometimes, but ammo boxes are pretty easy to find. Having the extra ammo, and I don't pick up ammo pouches either, so I'd probably say I use this low D or C under admin reload for sure.
Yeah, definitely under admin reload.
Let's put it down here for now.
Yeah, and the ammo pouch, I think it's the same thing. Like if you have a Hoffman, both of those cards are just obsolete. Maybe if you're running like, no, I can't really even think of any specific scenario. Just open up the ammo box.
Yeah, another card that just gives you more ammo for the team. I'm gonna say bottom priority.
Or that one's just for you. But,
or yeah, not for the team, but more ammo like for the game.
Yeah.
All right, next we got ammo stash.
Which one was ammo stash?
It says your secondary.
Oh, has unlimited ammo.
It has unlimited ammo.
Yep, that's the one. I'd say that's better, especially when you're running it with 2 is 1 and 1 is none.
Well, actually, I found out that this doesn't really work in that situation. Oh. It only works for secondary weapons, so if you have a primary weapon in your secondary slot, it doesn't give you full ammo. And so for me, it's only like kind of useful when you have like one of the secondaries with like a lot of ammo, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise,
the SMG I feel like runs out of ammo pretty quick.
Yeah.
But half of the secondary weapons are melee, so it feels like half of the weapons that it'd be, are just gone. So there's only like a selection of like 6 pistols.
Yeah, it doesn't really make too much sense.
But the Deagle, it does so much damage. Sniper bullets. Yeah, I'll say C. I think that's fair.
All right, following that, we got antibiotic ointment. It increases your healing efficiency by 40%.
And it gives you 5 flat health.
And gives you 5 flat health, yeah. So this one is pretty useful. Depends on what kind of build that you're using. I'll put it here in B tier to start. We can maybe move it around. It's best with a medic or a healing type of build. If you have a doc, she already gets this passively. She gets about 25% healing efficiency, I think it is, to start. So you don't really need to build this card on top of that because that could be overkill. But if you're running like Mom or Carly or someone else, then yeah, this is definitely a really good card to use.
Does it work on Doc's passive?
Yeah, it increases your healing efficiency by another 40%, so she'd have 65%.
Nice.
And so it really helps to make those heals like more OP.
Battle Lust, that's the +2 health for melee. I'd say that's a core card on the melee build. But the melee build just, I feel like, isn't as strong as it should be.
Yeah, but they just recently added some cards to try to help with that. So what do you think?
I'd say a solid B. You know, like you said, it needs other cards. Like it doesn't. It's not a standalone card at all.
Okay, I agree with that. Yeah, so that health back is nice, but you want to definitely combo that with some extra health and temporary health and stuff like that.
Stamina.
All right, Berserker.
I'd say that's straight up the best melee card.
What does it give you? Do you remember?
It's it's 10% attack speed, 10% damage, and 5% movement speed, or some percent movement speed for every kill within 4 seconds. So you can like wipe down like 10 ridden and then turn to a tall boy and just insta kill him.
Yeah, pretty essential card for melee builds especially.
Yeah, I'd say it's the best, or one of the best melee cards. Even I'd say more of a standalone than Battle Lust, but it works well with Battle Lust.
All right, here we got Bomb Squad.
The best. I'd say S tier. Best. It gives you the ability to insta kill tall boys. Nothing is more satisfying than just dropping a tall boy with one grenade. Multi kills with a grenade, like.
So I think it's 100% increase in explosive damage.
Yep, and it gives you 40% reduced explosive or damage resistance.
Yeah, definitely. It's when you see like those blue flashes of light going off when someone throws a grenade, it's because they have Bomb Squad loaded up inside of their kit. So that's what that extra grenade damage looks like. Following that, we got Breakout, which is a clear S.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely need to have Breakout in almost every build, unless you got like a Vangelo, and even then, it's nice to have an extra Breakout because no one else can have 2 Breakouts besides him. So, and they just reduced the time from 4 seconds to 3 seconds required to break out, so it's even faster now. So, I would say absolutely need it in your deck. S tier for sure.
100%.
Following that, we got Buckshot Hunter. This is the one that gives you health back for shotgun kills, temporary health.
Yep, for every pellet hit.
Yeah, for all your pellets hit. So depending on how many pellets you got in your gun, it could be a bunch of health back. It's probably most useful in operator decks or shotguns, depending on what your playstyle is. I'm gonna say probably over here in the C class. What do you think?
I think it's like necessary for some builds. Like it's a core card, but it's just not that effective. Like when you're shooting a tall boy, the only shotgun that it's really effective on is the auto shotgun. If you have the extended mags on the auto shotgun,
on the AA-12.
Yeah, the AA-12. If you're basically invincible. But if the AA-12 doesn't drop and you're only seeing the 3-shot shotgun and the pump shotgun, you're going to have a really hard time building up shield. And so that's kind of why, in my reasoning, I wouldn't really rate it too high. It's a core card, but it's just not that good, in my opinion. Its performance isn't that good.
All right, Charitable Soul. I feel like this is the 50% healing. You receive 50% healing back when you heal when you use a medical accessory.
That sounds right.
So this card is, I'd say, pretty essential for a healing type build. Only because you don't have to focus on healing yourself. You can use all of your medical accessories to heal your teammates and still stay pretty healthy yourself. Otherwise, you're wasting your bandages and med kits and stuff on yourself, and that's not going to be as effective as keeping your whole team alive, who's going to be the people that's mowing through most of the ridden and most of the commons. So if this, in conjunction with other cards, make it so you can use all of your medical accessories on your teammates, which I think is pretty OP for having a healing character on your team.
Absolutely.
All right, following that, we got Chemical
Courage. That's 25% increased damage, I think, for 5 seconds
after using your pain meds.
Yeah, pain meds. But I feel like because it's pain meds, it only works on specific builds. sometimes. And if you don't get a lot of pain meds dropping, or
your teammates take all the pain meds.
Yeah, if you're on a team where everyone needs the pain meds, you're just gonna have a waste of a card basically. Really good on melee because you can grab that temporary health shield and then use it in conjunction with Battle Lust to heal yourself while you have that temporary health to kind of protect it, kind of like the shield while you're gaining health. And then that increased damage makes it so you can really take down like the tall boy or the Reekers with no problem. I'd say B.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking that because even though pain meds are the best way to get like temporary health and a lot of it fast, when you have a melee build, you typically have a lot of temporary health as well. So.
Mm-hmm. And it works with everything, but I feel like sometimes it can be a waste of a card. Like a lot of people need to be picking up bandages. Not everyone on your team can grab the pain meds, and yeah.
All right, combat knife. This one switches your bash into a combat knife, melee weapon.
I'd say D. I'd say that's like the worst card in the game. I'd say like.
Well, I don't really build it too often, but yeah.
Sometimes I find myself in very specific scenarios where I'm like, man, I wasn't personally accurate enough to hit that bash to knock my teammate out of the cocoon or out of the pressure,
hawk and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. But it's so niche. It's like most of the time I don't need that at all.
Yeah, I agree. All right, following that, you got Combat Medic, 50% use speed, and it gives your teammates an additional 20 health, I believe.
Yeah, when you
revive them.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this up in A.
Yeah, I would say that's one of the best cards, especially with smelling salts. It's a revive kit. You got your Combat Medic with your smelling salts, and you're just able to pick people up real quick. Designated reviver. Yeah,
I'd say the 50% use speed is pretty awesome, especially if you don't have Carly on your team, because then you're pretty slow. Trying to get max out use speed isn't as effective, especially if you're trying to get those revives that have health. I mean, this card is good for like anyone on the team, even if you're not going for revives, but definitely needs to be used in conjunction with smelling salts, I think, to have like the best usage. Otherwise it'd be up there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it had revive speed on there, 50% revive speed and 50% use speed, I think it would definitely be S tier.
Yeah, it would be a standalone, but yeah. I think it needs to be that combo, but still really good card and good for anyone on the team to have besides just your medic.
Definitely.
Combat training. I think this is 5% bullet or 50% bullet penetration.
Yep, and 5% bullet damage.
5% bullet damage.
I'd say it's a necessary card. It's like you don't want to have to say it, but like I feel like it needs to be ran on most gun builds. Like if you're trying to run sniper, or if you're running assault rifle or anything like that, you're gonna have this on your build. Just damage increase. Yeah, I'd say B. It's not really too noticeable while you're using it, but the effects of it compound over the course of the game, and that's kind of where it comes from.
So the bullet penetration, I believe, is like kind of like FMJ, like shooting through stuff.
Yep.
And being able to like hit them when they're like hiding behind like those wood panels and stuff, which
and glass
is effective if the other team is trying to like use cover and stuff. But the damage is kind of negligible considering like some of the other damage cards that are in here that can give you a lot more effective damage for a lot longer. And it's more functional because like it's higher DPS in situations where they're not using cover. So
oh yeah,
I feel like shooting through stuff isn't really, because they can't really damage you while they're hiding as well. So
hawkers like to hide though, those stalkers, all those kind of.
Yeah, but they changed it so you can't shoot your hawk in the air. So it's not as effective for them to like jump out and hide. So they gotta come out at some point.
That's true. Man, it sucks to get one shot through through a wall.
I kind of want to put this like over in C because of some of the other offensive ones, but we could leave it here for now.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Competent Killer. I believe it's when you kill a special ridden, you increase your damage for your whole team by 1% up to 15% for the whole level.
Yep.
I want to kind of put this in A, I think.
I think it's a better card than Combat Training. I would definitely say that.
That's kind of why I wanted to like switch this down, because I don't think this is exactly an A.
Yeah.
But it's better than Combat Training, because that 5% damage increase is just for yourself, and the bullet penetration is the only card that gives you penetration, but penetration is kind of negligible in this game. So for this, if you're killing multiple, if anyone on your team kills a special ridden, the whole team gets an increase of 1%. So if you wipe the whole team 3 or 4 times, your whole team has 15% damage going into the end of the round, which is where you need to have, the damage increase. It's more effective.
Mm-hmm. It kind of helps you scale like the ridden.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I would say better than Combat Training, but I'd say both of those cards are on my shooter builds, really.
All right, Cross Trainers, 20% stamina, 20% stamina regen.
Man, it's so good.
3% movement speed and like...
max stamina, maybe?
Yeah, that's 20% stamina. Yeah. One other thing as well. So this is a pretty solid card. As far as the mobility cards go, it does give you some of everything, Yeah,
I would say it's strong. If you're just running one card, I would say Cross Trainers is the best one card to run, because it's going to give you the stamina increase. It's going to give you the regen increase. I don't know if I'd put it in S, though. I'd say maybe A. I'd say the best mobility card for non, melee build or non-movement speed-based builds. I'd say it's just the best.
I mean, so to me, that seems like an S tier card, because it can stand, like, you only need that one card, like, to fill its role.
That makes sense. Yeah. But I just don't see it in the same tier as Breakout, because in my mind, Breakout's like in all decks. It should go in all decks, but I wouldn't necessarily run Cross Trainers in all decks.
Well, but if you didn't have any other mobility in it, then you would.
Maybe. It's good, but if your team is camping, it's not good.
We'll think about it. It could stay there for now. But if your team's camping, then you don't need to use it. But I feel like it still helps. Yeah. Because in the scavenge phase, you got speed and you have more stamina. Because however long you're holding out, eventually, if the storm comes in, you're gonna have to move. So
it's true. It's true.
Adrenaline fueled. So this is 100% stamina increase, minus 75% stamina regeneration. When you kill an enemy, it'll give you 10 stamina instantly. And
10 stamina over 10 seconds or something like that. Crazy.
It's a lot of stamina for sure.
I would say S tier for sure, right alongside Berserker. If you're running this card, like right now at least, you have unlimited stamina. Like, it feels ridiculous.
Yeah, you have like 12 bars of stamina at the bottom. It's pretty. Yeah, I'd recommend changing your settings from auto or from toggle to hold to sprint. That way you're not unconsciously using your sprint when you don't mean to.
Absolutely.
Since you don't regenerate as faster, especially.
Help you control it. But I would say at least right now, as of talking about this, I would say that this card is insane. It gives you too much stamina. And then it's not even a melee kill. You get a grenade kill where you wipe out 5 ridden and a tall boy. Your stamina is plus 60 and then another 60 over 10 seconds. It feels ridiculous.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, here next we got Durable. I think this is reduced trauma resistance by 50%.
Yep, and 5 health.
And you get plus 5 health. I run this in my healing decks. I feel like it's a pretty good card between A and B.
Oh yeah, I would say it's essential. I would say it's one of the best cards. It's the only card that gives you trauma resistance. And if you have no doc on your team, it is the only thing on your team preventing you from going full black bar or whatever, no
bar. I mean, it could potentially even be an S tier. I feel like it's kind of in the middle over here.
Yeah, I would say it's later game. You don't get this card on the first round.
Yeah, you don't get it in the first round, but you absolutely need it in like the second or especially third round, because then the tall boys especially are hitting you for so much trauma every time. It doesn't matter if you get like healed up or revived, because your fucking health bar is 25. So
yeah, you'll get picked up just to get dropped by the acid, basically.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna put this in S tier.
Yeah,
there's no other trauma resistance card, so.
And if you don't have doc, if you're not communicating with your team, I'd say Durable is necessary to have on your deck. If you are communicating with your team, it's it's maybe sometimes if you don't have doc.
You do have doc, I'd still say like that trauma resistance is pretty broken.
Yeah, with doc and Durable, you don't take trauma damage.
Essentially. Yeah. All right, so here you go. You got mobility increase here with energy bar, 60% stamina.
Yeah, I'd say it's not as good.
Regeneration.
I'd say it's not as good. It does give you 5 health.
But I'd say this card in conjunction with Adrenaline Fueled is could be good, because you're counteracting the stamina regen.
Because it gives you an alternative source. Like it's not.
Let's put it down here and see.
Yeah, I'll say C. Because Adrenaline Fueled gives you an alternative source of stamina income. Like anytime you kill a ridden anywhere, you get 10. And so.
Yeah, but what about when the horde is leveled out and there's nothing coming except for
you're not
like a big tall boy?
You don't usually need to be running all around.
Well, that's when you gotta run, for the most part. If you have a melee build, because you can't.
Oh yeah, you don't even need a melee build with Adrenaline Fueled right now. Like you can kill zombies with a grenade. You could have full grenade build and.
Yeah, just those kills.
Throw a pipe bomb.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure you're paying attention.
Because you throw one pipe bomb, boom, kill 10 zombies. Your stamina's 100% again, or you've got a stupid amount of stamina back.
Yeah. All right, so we got Evasive Action here next.
Oh, so good. I wouldn't say it's as good as True Grit though. Oh man, I'd say it's low actually. It feels good when you get that movement speed boost and you can run away from a tall boy.
Yeah, so this one is increase your movement speed by
30, I think.
30%?
I think it's 30. I think it's pretty high.
When you take 10 or more damage, you increase your movement speed by Brian's saying 30%, so we'll say it's that for now. That is a lot.
Yeah, it's 10 damage, so anytime you get ran into by a wretch or a reeker or anything like that, exploder, tall boy hits you, it's almost guaranteed. The only thing it's not really going to trigger on are the ridden, or the common, and the stingers. Yep. The Evasive Action I feel like is good, but I wouldn't even put it in B. I feel like it's so niche. It doesn't even make sense because, if your team's all split up, yeah, it's great. But if your team's coordinated, I would say it doesn't make any sense, because you should, I don't know. It's just awkward. It's an awkward card.
Yeah, it's down here in D. All right, here we go. We got Experience EMT. When you use a medical accessory, the target gains 20% increased health until the end of the round. I love this card. This is one of my favorite medical cards. It's just pretty OP. I mean, it's essentially you can get a card down here that gives you 25 health vitamins. This card can give you 25 health from one heal. So even if you're not a healer, if you have this card and you use it to heal yourself, you're gonna have an increased health for the rest of the round. This also stacks with other people, so if other people are using this card, you can get up to 20%, 40%, 60%, 80% health for this card, which is pretty broken. Health is really good to have in this game. There's only a lot of cards that give you 5 health. There's only a small amount of cards that give you a substantial amount of health. So,
especially with Walker too, because Walker's giving you that 10% base, and
then you increase that 20% health. So yeah, it's definitely a good combo to have if you got both of those guys. All right, face your fears. Gain 3 temporary health whenever you kill a ridden within, I think it's 2 now, within 4 meters.
Yeah, I would say that's
3 meters. Something like that.
It's 2 meters, but I'd say that's A. I would say that's better than Battle Lust. It works with grenades. It works with everything.
Rather than just melee kills.
Yeah, even though it's temporary health, it's not real health, but that temporary health will kind of override trauma. And so if you have trauma stacked on you and you get a couple kills real close, it'll override that trauma. It'll heal you when the commons are hitting you, stuff like that. It's a nicer card in my opinion than Battle Lust.
So next we got Fanny Pack. So if you can see, there's not that many yellow cards in here. There's only 4 total, so be aware of that. So the Fanny Pack gives you an additional support inventory. I'd say this is really good to have for almost anyone in any position, because you pretty much start with 2 band-aids or 2 support inventory unless you're mom, and then you have 3, so then you don't really need to build this. But over the game, even if you're not playing with other people, having more than 2 band-aids will help you to survive,
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say that you can grab bandages, you can grab pain meds, any of the first aid kits, and that I feel like that's a big part of why it's so strong on any kit, because even if you're playing melee build, having that Fanny Pack, you'll be able to grab another pain meds, or if you're running a healer, another med kit, if you're whatever.
All right, next we got Fire in the Hole. When you throw an offensive accessory, gain 20 temporary health and 20% movement speed for 5 seconds. What do you think?
I think it's pretty good.
It's a good combo with the temporary health and increase in damage and stuff like that, but I don't think it's like a one card for everything.
It'll shield you from your own nade damage. Like if you throw a nade at your feet, it'll shield you.
With that temporary health.
What else? It's got that movement speed, so when you
20%.
throw stuff, so you can run away. I mean, it's a more versatile card than I would say a lot of the other stuff, but I'd feel like it's just more like it's better with other cards. Like it's not really a good solo card.
Yeah, I agree. It feels nice when you have this card, because you can throw like Molotov cocktails and get this boost as well, and so it gives you a reason to pick up other explosives and offensive inventories besides just the
grenades.
The grenades. Also, it works when you drop the
razor wire.
The razor wire too, so that can be pretty helpful. So yeah, I kind of like it. And next we got,
I think that's the 30% increase accuracy.
Front sight focus. Yeah, 30% accuracy. How do you feel about accuracy?
It's I would say only good on automatic weapons. If you're using the bolt action sniper, or like the Barrett 50 cal, or the Phoenix, if you toggle or if you go into your settings and turn on automatic fire and you hold the trigger, it's gonna reset to 0, or like your aim is gonna completely reset before the gun fires again. And so on sniper builds, anything like that, I feel like it's completely useless. Shotguns, your vision, or after you pump a shotgun, your aim is exactly where it was. And so I feel like it's just unnecessary on a lot of builds. Only thing, maybe a full auto, like if you're running the LMG, or if you grab a SMG off the ground that has an ACOG. I feel like SMG with ACOG is just the craziest thing. It's so hard to see anything, but for some reason, when you have increased accuracy, I feel like it's manageable. Yeah, but other than that, it's just so niche. I'd say it's bad. It's a bad card.
I almost never build it. I feel like it helps with your spray fire, like with your hip fire and all that type of stuff. It probably makes your sights a little bit smaller when you're using weapons like that. And like for the sniper, it probably makes it so you can no scope a little bit better, a little bit like cleaner shooting pattern. But it doesn't seem like it's very effective, and you don't really feel it when you have it going on. All right, the next one is grenade pouch, an extra offensive inventory. This is, I definitely think, between A and B.
Yeah, I'd say it's right there with Fanny Pack. I feel like they're just as effective. It's really nice picking up razor wire at the beginning of the game, being able to grab 3 of them to set up the defenses around the game. It's nice to be able to grab 3 grenades. It's nice to be able to grab 3 Molotovs. I feel like it's better than a lot of the cards on the list for sure.
Yeah, it's good, but I don't think everyone on the whole team needs to have it. I think there's usually not enough explosives, and like if everyone's talking and you're like, I'm gonna get Molotovs and I'm gonna get nades, then maybe you would have enough to go around. Otherwise, people end up just with like 1 or 2, and it's split, and they don't like fully utilize all the explosives, and then you're just grabbing them throughout the round, and you never really get to 3 anyway. So
really good with Hoffman, because he starts with that grenade. Anyone with offensive inventory, because then you just need to find 1 crate that has
Walker starts with the grenade too, and then Evangelo starts with fire Molotov.
Yep. And Jim starts with the razor wire. So I mean, like, if you're playing any of those guys, it's really easy to get set with the 3rd set of inventory compared to other people, for sure.
Yeah, and just since grenades are really OP right now, they didn't really nerf them at all in this last patch, I'd say it's still good to have 3. Next we got group therapy, which is when you use a medical accessory, all teammates heal for 8 health. I've put this down in B, so this one's not bad for a healer. So this one, along with the Charitable Soul, are gonna give you about a pretty decent heal when you heal your teammates as a healer, since you get that 50% healing back and then another 8 health. It's not really important to run on any other classes. If you run it on like an offensive class, then your teammate will get that 8 health, but it's pretty small. You don't really notice it. They're still gonna need to heal themselves if they need health, plus if they're at full health and all that kind of stuff. So it is good on a healing build, especially if you're not using your accessories to heal yourself. Then it's a nice double heal. Otherwise, it's not super necessary. It doesn't work with Doc's built-in heal. You have to use something on the ground. So usually band-aids and pain meds give temporary health to everyone around you too. So
I don't know. I feel like it's C. I feel like it's just not that good. Like, it maybe if everyone stacked it, but 8 health all around, I feel like it's just not that effective. Usually people are using healing on themselves, before everyone on the team takes damage. And so, like, if your whole team's full and you're the only one on the team that's damaged, the card's completely useless.
Yeah, that's true. So you definitely have to use it after the rest of your team takes some damage. If you're the only person like almost dead, then might as well use it. But
yeah, it just kind of, it puts you in an awkward place, sometimes. But I'm not saying it's bad. It's just in some situations it's completely nothing.
All right, Hellfire, plus 45 movement speed while firing, plus 5 movement speed while not firing.
I'd say that's right there with combat trainers. It's pretty good. If you're running melee, it doesn't do anything for you. But if you're running pretty much any of the gun classes, it gives you a good chunk of movement speed. Yeah,
it's pretty awesome to be moving as fast as you are when you're firing. You don't get slowed down. You move super fast when you're like with an SMG firing through the horde and stuff.
Mm-hmm. especially with that with the other card, the SMG one.
And then the 5% flat movement speed is nice. It's higher than the 3% from cross trainers because it's just movement speed, and it's pretty much the same boost that Evangelo gives you, gives his team. All right, 2 is 1.
I'd say that's
and 1 is none. Yeah, I'd say this is probably S tier. This is definitely a standalone card. You can put this first in your deck if you don't like any of the secondary weapons. So it also reduces your weapon swap speed by 25%. But you can have a secondary, or you can have a primary weapon in your secondary slot. So whatever weapon's in that secondary slot is going to be what comes out when you go down. So if you put an LMG there, then you'll have an LMG in the end when you're just after you're down, which is easy to melt through people, or even a sniper. Or and if you don't, Deagles are usually the best because you can take out special ridden. But yeah, this is a pretty solid card. Being able to have, especially if you're running a sniper build, being able to have like a SMG or a rifle in your pocket or something like that. So it speaks for itself pretty much.
Yeah, it's a good card. If you combined it with shooting gloves, it's going to completely negate the reduced weapon swap speed.
Yep. So next you got high Vis Sights. So this is 40% aim speed.
I'd say it's bad.
Yeah, I'd say pretty bad. This is definitely only necessary if you really like running like an LMG or a sniper class, and even then, if you pick Walker or Jim, I feel like he has plus 25% aim down sight speed. So if you know you're going to be picking a sniper or something, then there's other ways to get your aim down sight speed, but pretty much not super functional in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't really like that one too much. I feel like some of the builds might just have it in there, but you can hip fire. It's really not that big of a deal, especially if you're running an LMG and they're close. And if they're far away, just wait and zoom. I don't know.
Yeah. So next you got Hunker Down. So this is while crouching, you gain 10% damage resistance and 40% accuracy. So I almost never build this. I
was just thinking about the aim down sight speed. It's good with a sniper. It really is the only thing it's good with.
That's what I was saying earlier, yeah. But Jim gives you aim down sight speed too, and sniper start and weak point damage. So,
yeah.
But either way, so for this card, it's good if you're doing like a camping build and you're trying to stay in one spot. Otherwise, you sometimes see people crouch when they're like getting smacked by a tall boy. I don't think it's doing so much that it's saving you, maybe a little bit if you're getting exploded on and all this stuff. And at this point also, like we were saying, accuracy, which is the second thing that it gives you, isn't super effective. You can see our other accuracy card down here. So
yeah, I'd say Hunker Down is kind of garbage. It just makes it so you can't run. Like you can crouch midair while if you were like a really high skill player and you were just tapping crouch right before you're getting hit, I could see it being effective, but it makes the game not as fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely am not a fan of having to crouch, so try to use it as least as possible. Next we got Ignore the Pain. So this is 20% melee damage against mutations. When you deal melee damage as a mutation or to a mutation, heal 1 health and recover 3 stamina.
I'd say A. It's gives the melee build the ability to kill a ridden, or a mutation, but it's not really.
Yeah, one of the bigger ones, especially like a tall boy.
Yeah, but it's sketchy. You want to.
You don't want to fight the tall boys still, but you can kill the Reekers at least a lot easier too.
Yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, it's a sketchier card to have on your deck. Early at least. Just switch to your gun. Just switch over to your shotgun and load a whole clip into him, and then switch to your melee and hit him once and kill him. It's in my opinion, dropping all your stamina into a tall boy is just not really the best way to go. And that 1 health is not enough. Later in the game, it's nice. I'd say it's a card that needs to be on a melee deck, but it's definitely not a standalone card.
All right, next we got in the zone. Precision kills grant 5% reload speed for 5 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. So up to 50% reload speed from this guy. Precision kills are just like headshots.
I never run that card.
Yeah, I don't run it. I don't run it either, but the 50% reload is interesting. I mean,
maybe. Like I said, I haven't used it enough, so I'd just put it in D because it's a card that didn't even spark my interest enough to run it.
Yeah, but I mean, I've run it. So if you're running like an SMG deck, I mean, so since it says precision kills, you might think that you want to put it on like a sniper class, but it doesn't really work on a sniper class because you want to get that stack up to 50%. So that means you got to get 10 kills in that time. So getting 10 headshots with a sniper isn't as you know probable as you using a assault rifle and getting 20 or 10 common kills, you know. So this isn't for a sniper class, but it does help for reload. You got to be careful with because you're also gonna run out of ammo faster. This is good on an LMG class pretty much, and that's about it.
Absolutely, I'd say yeah, that makes sense.
All right, next we got Inspiring Sacrifice. So this one's pretty simple. When your teammate goes down, whenever you or a teammate goes down or becomes incapacitated, all teammates heal for 20 health over 15 seconds. I kind of want to put this in S because it is a standalone card. Yeah. But the reason why I won't put it in S right now is, I feel like it could go S.
Yeah, when your team's stacking it can be really good. If your team gets to a vulnerable position where someone goes down, it gives everyone kind of a nice little health boost to go get it.
Yeah, this card you can build dropping in solo queues because if you're running a heal or any type of deck and you don't have really good teammates, you're going to get the buff like for every time they go down. So every time a teammate goes down, you can get 20 health over, 25 seconds, something like that?
I think they just reduced it.
Yeah, it's 20 health over 15 seconds. So that gives you another 15 seconds at least if you're the last person to try to make some time. But yeah, and it also stacks with your other teammates. So if everyone's running this, you get up to 80 health. So it wasn't a lot of my decks, so I saw that a lot of people were also running it. So I didn't really think having all of that health was necessary, but someone on that team should definitely be running this in their first set of cards.
Yeah, really good, really good.
All right, next we got Marathon Runner, which is plus 5% movement speed and no movement penalty for strafing or backpedaling.
Yeah, I think it's good, but I just don't think it's as good as Cross Trainers or as Hellfire. I would say it's maybe B or C. Like really,
put it in B. I like this one. I think it's you need it in conjunction, kind of. I mean, it's kind of a standalone card. You could get this instead of anything else if you are using your back pedal fire a lot and strafing, because it's freaking awesome when you're going full speed backwards and like letting a full clip go.
Yep.
And then if you got it with Hellfire, you're going even faster backwards than you were forwards at like for a second. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it gives you the ability to kind of do damage even when
you're running.
Yeah, when you're running. And so you don't even, I don't know. It's good, but in my opinion, I'm usually just facing them. I'll run away, I'll jump around a corner, jump off something, and then turn around and shoot them. In my it's good. I'm not saying it's not good, but in my mind,
you just gotta change your play a little bit. I mean, Hellfire is better because it's useful and they both have their drawbacks. As if you're running a melee deck, then it's not as useful. This one, it still gives you 5%, and this one backpedaling in a melee deck, not really useful as well.
But the strafe, it is. I'd say Marathon Runner is really good on a melee. But I would say the Cross Trainers is just the better for melee because of giving you that extra max, because it's giving you the regen and the movement speed. Not quite as much.
I don't have any S up here. I feel like it might end up being Cross Trainers that go up here. Like, we'll see how that goes. We got Mark for Death next. That is mutations that you ping are highlighted, and the highlight doesn't go away. Like as they go around stuff, your whole team can see it. And they get dealt 10% more damage by all sources when they're highlighted. So this is a pretty solid card. I started up there.
I'd say it's good.
It's good, especially if your teammates aren't killing the mutations and they're not like seeing them or shooting at them. Seeing a big red outline helps a lot for your team to just, focus them. Otherwise, when you ping them, it's just like a red skull that comes up.
Or if you miss them, it's just a white, and then they try to run to it.
Yeah, I know. So it's definitely useful for being able to call out those mutations, which can help you get to longer times, because when you get those kills, they're spawning for a longer period of time. So I like this card. I put it in some of my decks.
I would say it's just not as good because it's like a one person running it kind of card. Yeah, the whole team can't mark the same guy.
Exactly.
If they could, it would be crazy broken, like 100% increased damage. Everyone marks the same target.
You're right.
But it's not, and so
I'm gonna leave it here for now. But this is just a single person running it. You don't need your whole team to have it, because you're gonna lose utility that way. So yeah,
good for one person though, or two even. But yeah, I would say when there's too many people on your team running it, it's just a waste of a card.
Yeah, that's true. We'll leave it there for now. We'll see how the rest of these cards go. Next we got Numb. So that one is you gain 15% damage resistance when you have temporary health. So this is a good combo card to use like with pain meds, to use with Face Your Fears.
Shotgun.
And with the shotgun, Buckshot Hunter. The damage resistance is nice. 15% is a lot. So
yeah. That's like Tallboy hits you for 10 and you take 7.
Tallboy hits you for about 22 or so. So you're taking about 3 or 4 damage off of that. Patient Hunter. This one is when you aim down sights, each second that you aim down, you increase your damage up to 10%. 3 stacks, so up to 30%.
I'd say it's bad.
It's not only, it doesn't only work for snipers, it works for all classes. 30% damage increase is not bad. That's really good actually. So if you're using an LMG or any type of class besides like an SMG, then you're probably going to get this 30 seconds or this 30% damage increase, which can be a lot. I mean, probably most useful on snipers and LMGs, but since you can use it on all classes, I feel like it's better than D.
But like, I don't know. It's like usually when I'm playing, I don't like zoom in extra early. I zoom in and then I unload my clip and then I unzoom. And usually the time that it takes to unload the clip isn't even 3 seconds.
Yeah, so you just gotta like change your the way you play a little bit. Like if you have an LMG or a sniper, you want to aim for a little bit, for like a second and a half before you start shooting, and then maybe like instead of just holding the trigger down, you like tap it a little bit so that you're getting more effective use of that 30% damage. And if you're sniping, then and you're not using a bow action, because if you're using a bow action, then it's going to take you out of the aim down sight every time. Then you just gotta, that's why it's patient. You just gotta wait 3 seconds, 30% damage, and that combined with some other damage increases can be pretty useful. If you're going straight damage and you want to get like 150% damage increase shot on your sniper, then that's probably
the only way.
One of the ways to do it. So following that, what do we got? Pep in your step? Is that what it is?
Yeah, pep in your step.
So each bullet hit causes the target to take, is that this one? No, that's not this one. That's Shredder.
It's right over there. On the right.
So precision kills grant you 10% movement speed for 5 seconds.
I'd say it's better than the reload speed one.
Evasive, or yeah, what do we put the reload speed here on the bottom too?
In the zone is the reload speed one.
Yeah, so this one is, I mean, movement speed is better than reload speed because you're getting away faster. So precision kills, again, this isn't for a sniper. This is like for an SMG or something where you're trying to run.
Mm-hmm. And if you're using a melee, if you get a headshot, it'll give you the same thing too. So your melee kills can be precision as well.
I just prefer the cards that give you like further round or over like for 5 seconds or temporary health, which sustains longer.
Yeah, because if you don't get surrounded by Ridden, the card's like useless. Like,
yeah,
if you can't kill 2-3 Ridden to get that movement speed to get away from the tall boy, like you're dead. And so Pep in Your Step's just a sketchy card to kind of run. But when it's kind of ramped up and you're getting a card or a kill every 3 seconds or whatever, it is nasty. You're so fast.
Yeah, you just got to think about it. Poultice. So when you use the medical accessory, the target heals for an additional 20 health and 20 trauma over 30 seconds.
I'd say it's one of the best.
I'd say S tier.
Yeah.
This is like the only other card that can counteract trauma. So it will heal your trauma over time. It's not flat. You gotta wait a little bit, but it does reverse trauma. So, and then the plus 20 health can make bandages and
pain
meds feel like such a fat heal. It's you don't need it in the beginning, in the first round, but second and third round, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you're running it with experienced EMT, which if you're not at full health or if you're not healing to full health, won't always give you that health increase. So being able to heal an additional 20 health will help to make sure that you get that plus 20% heal or increase health from experienced EMT as well.
It's awesome.
Yeah, real good card. Next we got
Power Snap. That's when you switch weapons. When you're low ammo, it'll give you increased damage. I'd say it's really good. There's a setting.
20% damage for 5 seconds.
There's a setting inside of the options that'll make you auto switch weapons. And you basically can activate All is One and One is None, that card. And then the other one where your card, Admin Reload, where your reloads happen when you're switched. And then pick up 2 LMGs, right? And then hold the trigger. And when you run out of ammo on one, instead of reloading, you're gonna switch all the way through to 2 LMGs, and it's just, I'd say it's one of the
it's a dope combo.
Or SMGs even too. Anything you swap when you're low ammo with All is One and One is None.
Yeah, 20% damage increase. You just have to keep swapping.
Yep.
It's pretty solid.
Unload your clip with the pistol SMG, and then auto switch over to your whatever.
It's best when you have 2 is One and One is None though. So
yeah, and shooting gloves. You need shooting gloves.
Still, the 20% is nice. All right, Pyro. So this one is 100% fire damage, I believe, and kills with fire grant temporary health.
Yeah, I'd say it's bad.
You can also sense nearby flammable objects.
I'd say C. I'd say if you hit a exploder or you hit like a wretch or anything like that, you're gonna kill them with pyro until they get a bunch of upgraded health. But I feel like it's just not that much damage, really. Like, you hit a tall boy with it, and it doesn't really feel like it does too much.
How much health does it give you for temporary health when you get a kill?
1, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's 3.
Either way, it's not that much.
It's back 1.
No, it doesn't say on the card.
It does.
Oh, no, it does. 3. Yeah, 3 temporary health. Never mind.
I mean, if you pipe bomb Molotov some big group of zombies, it'll give you a pretty satisfying amount of health. But it's just, like, why not just run Fire in the Hole? For the health at least. If you want that health, if you want to be able to run away, Fire in the Hole is just a better card. It'll work with everything. Pyro just makes it so you have to pick up Molotovs.
Yeah, Molotovs are trash, by the way. Next, reload drills. It's going to give you 30% reload speed. Another card that you can use with everything, but
I mean, we've argued about this card in the past. I mean, this card, maybe it gives you more DPS.
Right, and it says it translates straight into power.
Yeah, it should. I mean, in my mind, it translates to a straight up increase in damage. Like, if you are like in a corner, just holding the trigger, that reload's going to be faster. Over the course of all your ammo, if you're just holding the trigger.
Really depends on your build, because if you got power swap, then you're never reloading anyway.
Nope. Yeah, exactly. I'd say it's not that good. I'm with you, but in some
if you got
cases.
an SMG, I mean, or not an SMG, if you have like a
LMG, yes, super.
then yeah, you need, but some games you don't get LMGs.
A shotgun, sometimes nice to have that on the shotgun too.
I feel like shotguns, yeah, some of them reload relatively fast. I just feel like it's not.
I'm like right there. It's at C for me. It's not that good. I don't really pick it.
Yeah, I just feel like there's more useful cards out there.
Yeah, it's better than extra ammo, in my opinion.
Yeah, better than extra ammo. All right, next we got Ridden Slayer.
Oh, tier 1 S. I'd say highest tier possible.
30% increased damage. Yeah, 35% weak spot damage. This is like the highest damage card in the game. I don't think anything's giving you more than 35% damage increase.
It works on melee. It works on sniper.
It's gotta know where the weak points are and make sure to aim for them.
Mm-hmm. If you're hitting the weak spot with,
you get a yellow X.
Nasty. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty self-explained. 35% weak spot damage. Then they all got weak spots. So, and I think that also counts for headshots.
It does, yeah.
For the common, so.
Scar tissue, that's -1 damage from
Scar tissue, yeah, so -1 damage. Necessary.
I'd say it's one of the best defensive cards. I'd say it's better than vitamins. As far as just pure damage reduction, it's going to make it so that when you're standing on the wretch vomit, stuff like that, it does less damage. Anything that's like a continuous tick, like a stalker grab or a crusher grab.
Does this work against the commons?
Yeah, you get hit by a common.
Yeah, so the commons do 3 damage per smack, so this would take away 1 of that, so they'd only do 2 damage, so that's an effective 30% damage reduction from them.
Yeah, I mean it should be strong, but when you personally, when I look at my health, I like to see a high number, right? I like to see like, holy shit, I got like 300 health, and that's not going to be scar tissue. Scar tissue is just basically damage resistance. I'd say it's good though. I'd say B, yeah. This makes sense there.
All right, Screwdriver.
Oh, it's so good. It's niche though. It's
between
only
A and
for
B.
medicine.
Yeah. So this gives you 100% use speed, which helps you to open boxes faster, open toolkits faster, heal your teammates faster. Doesn't do anything for revive speed. So you can, when you don't have any, you can see how slow it is to try to also healing yourself.
Yep.
And other people. So some people's heals are faster, it seems like, but having this is definitely absolutely necessary, or any kind of use speed. If you have the 50% use speed, then you don't really need 100%. 100% is like kind of overkill. If you have a Carly and 100%, then I mean, that's totally unnecessary. I typically do fine on 50%, so you want to make sure you have at least 50%, and for that reason I have Combat Medic up here. Even if you're not getting revives, the 50% use speed is still more useful in my opinion.
As a standalone card, I would say Combat Medic is better. It's going to give you half that use speed and the extra revive, just like RJ said. Your
team should have a Carly anyway. Every team should have a Carly. You get, I mean,
toolbox.
Unless you know all the toolkit spawns, which, I mean, check out our videos, but otherwise you have to find one every round. Having one in the beginning helps, so then you only need to find 2 or 3 toolboxes and you don't have to search in the 3rd round, and you can just get kitted up.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is Second Chance. Is that
1 extra life and 5 health.
Yeah.
I would say it's one of the worst cards.
It's 10 health.
10 health. I'd say it's one of the worst cards. If
get a mom if you want an extra life.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Don't grab this card. Play mom.
Yeah.
Your whole team's gonna get an extra life.
Yeah. Then you don't also have to play the accessory card. There's like, mom's just way better than this. The 10 health also isn't very much. Walker gives your whole team 10 health. Like I was saying, there's way better ways to get 10 health.
Yeah.
If you grab Experience EMT, you can give your whole team 20% health, which usually translates to at least 20 health per person.
Sometimes 30.
So, yeah, and the extra life is useful if you don't have a mom, but I mean,
that's it. It's like, pick mom.
Don't
pick this.
Definitely not. Definitely deserves D tier. Next we got Shooting Gloves. 50% weapon swap speed. I'm going to go ahead and put this here in B as well.
It's really good with all is one and one is none. That's about it.
Yeah. You don't really need... Maybe this is like a C, because...
It just has one use. It's use this card to negate the effects of all is one and one is none.
You don't really... I've never noticed switching to my secondary weapon and be like, oh, that's slow. Like, it's usually out pretty fast.
Yep.
So if you don't if you're using a secondary weapon that's like a primary in your secondary, then your weapon swap is decreased anyway. So yeah, it does help.
Yep.
But otherwise, no, you don't need weapon swap speed. I feel like this should be down here.
If you're running, I got one other like reason to use it. If you're running a Buckshot Bruiser and you don't want to run all is none and you want that secondary shotgun blast, it's kind of nice to be able to just kind of like reload it in your off time, and then when you see that tall boy come up, unload your first shotgun into him, swap over to the
secondary single shot shotgun.
Yeah, the secondary single shot shotgun.
Oh, you really dying on that class? That's so much.
And then just blasting the tall boy. I mean, it's the most damage. Nothing else does that much damage.
Yeah, it's fun too. All right. Next, I think we got Shredder. Each bullet causes the target to take 1% increased damage for 3 seconds, up to 15. So this is a 15% damage increase.
I'd say it's A. I'd say that's like one of the best damage ones.
It's pretty solid. All of your guns are pretty much going to do this besides a sniper.
Yep. Pistols even will do that.
Yeah, if you have a pistol, you can still get this 15% damage increase. Most of them have about 12 to 15 bullets.
Yep, just not the Deagle. The Deagle's the only one, really. And
yeah, but the Deagle still has pretty high rate of fire, too, so...
Yeah, with reload
not the
speed.
revolver. Yeah, with reload speed especially. You're not going to get that all in 3 seconds, but if you're running SMG, AR, LMG...
Yep.
Or auto shotgun...
Yep.
Yeah, you're smashing through people with this. Shredder, I like it on my offensive classes.
If you're running a sniper, though, you can still get all the benefit of Shredder by using the auto pistol, and either the Glock or the... What's the other one? The auto pistol? I can't remember. But you basically just unload your whole pistol clip into it, swap to the sniper, and...
Yeah, so you increase your bullet damage first, and you switch, and then you get your sniper off at increased damage.
Mm-hmm. And the Glock unloads so quick. The auto Glock will unload 19 bullets or something, super quick.
Yeah, if you have like the one of the semi-auto rifle or snipers too, you can get some of that, but it won't be super effective.
Oh, on the M1 carbine or whatever, if you turn on auto auto weapons, the M1 carbine will probably shoot fast enough for that.
All right, so smelling salts. I think this is a unanimous A or S plus.
As high as it can go.
Unanimous S. I feel like everyone should probably run this.
Yeah.
Like, every single person on your team should have smelling salts. Otherwise, revives are so slow, and it's literally the thing that makes the game go longer. Like, you can have their whole team down in 1 minute, and they get one resurrection and another revive and another, and now they're going to 3 or 4 minutes because of that. Like,
mm-hmm.
And it's so quick.
Yeah, 150% increase. I think it's a standalone, the most increased by a percentage thing out of any card. Like, nothing gives you as big of a boost in any one category as this card.
It's crazy. If you use that and Combat Medic, which I feel like is pretty easy to have 2 cards, you pretty much can like solo queue and win most of the games.
Yep. Because your teammates won't know what's going on. You'll be able to pick them up really quick with extra life so that they can actually escape some of those sticky situations you're in. You're going to get that 50% use speed on top of it. Just nasty combo.
It is nasty. Like, smelling salts is... And then you can totally feel it when you don't have it on.
Oh, yeah. You can never go back.
Yeah, smelling salts is the way to go. Everyone should rock it, because you running out into the swarm to get a pickup, you can't do it unless you got smelling salts or a ton of health. And even if you got a ton of health, it's so sketchy. So
sketch.
Speed Demon.
In
So
my mind, this is my favorite card. One of my
6% movement speed while using an SMG, 35% reload speed while using an SMG. So this is like straight up DPS and mobility. The only reason I won't put it into S is because not everyone has an. Well, I mean, I guess you could.
No, your whole team can't pick up SMGs.
No. Your whole team can't pick up SMGs, but you could start with Evangelo, or you could start with Doc, or you could start with someone that like starts the game with an SMG.
You should always pick up a green weapon to start with. I would say I'm with you, dude. I think that it's
if you can't get a green weapon, that gray weapon is not bad, especially when you have that reload speed, because
you're right.
It increases that.
Yeah, that reload speed is nasty. Way better than reload, the other reload card, reload drills.
It's the only one that gives you 6% move speed.
Yeah,
the rest of them are 5 or less.
The strongest movement card in the game, but you have to have an SMG.
Yeah.
And that's like I'd say the only drawback for it.
It's really floating, yeah.
If your team could have more SMGs.
Yeah, plus your team could also pick those 2 characters, and then you're just really fucked without an SMG. So this is sometimes a second round card. I feel like all of these are potential just first round cards, besides like Poultice is like second round or later. Everything else,
but your whole team can run
like
it,
your first round. Yeah, your whole team could run it.
Actually, maybe not with Poultice. Maybe Poultice should be a little lower, because your whole team can run EMT expertise.
Yeah, but I mean, if your whole team's running Poultice, then when they heal themselves in the third round, they're reducing their own trauma.
It makes every bandage or every...
Yeah, then you don't need as much bandages for your whole team.
That makes sense. All right.
Next we got Stimulants. So this is pain meds you apply also grant 10% movement speed, 10% reload speed, and 10% weapon swap speed for 30 seconds. So that is a long time of buff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
30 seconds when like lots of the games are like 2 minutes or less, so that's a good usually quarter of the game. And it's damage, or it's movement speed, reload speed, and weapon swap. So reload and weapon swap aren't the greatest, but 10% movement speed is pretty solid for 30 seconds.
And with your or if you're using this with a melee build, it's very strong. You're using this with like anything basically. Stimulants go out really quick, so that's one of the things. Your medic doesn't necessarily need to have stimulants on his build, but it might be nice for like your Evangelo or something to have stimulants.
Now we got superior cardio. So this one is sprint efficiency by 50%, also 5% or 5 health.
I'd say one of the worst cards in the game. Just my personal opinion. I think that if you control your running, you should never run into this problem. Or if you pick cross trainers, you'll never run into this problem.
Oh yeah, cross trainers also give you 5 health. That's the last stat it gives you. But I mean, sprint efficiency, what is it?
It just makes it so that while you're sprinting, it's going to drain half of the stamina that it normally would.
Yeah, so you run out of stamina slower when you're sprinting.
Yes.
So
it's good in conjunction on a melee build. You'll see she kind of holds some swords.
This is probably better than energy bar.
No, I would say the energy bar and that card are on the same tier of garbage.
Okay, well here they are then.
Maybe even worse than the...
All right, True Grit.
I like True Grit.
I do too.
I think True Grit's a strong card.
It's a super strong card. I feel like it could be effective in any deck.
And they just buffed it too, so it's even stronger right now.
Yeah, it's fucking S tier, that shit.
Yeah,
so this is like super effective for anti-tall boy and anti-late round builds. Yep. Because if they're hitting you with a tall boy, they're doing over 15 damage usually, and you're healing 8 of that back over time. So you just, as you're running away, you're getting some of that health back. They're doing less effective DPS. And then if you got like an exploder coming in at you and they're exploding, like you're getting that heal back. And if you're getting hit by towards the late game, sometimes the shots from the stinger is gonna do more than enough damage to give you that heal back. So it just makes sense for keeping your health up, Yeah,
absolutely. I'd say it's so good if you're camping, if you're running around. It's, the most versatile defense card. It's, in my opinion, better than Scar Tissue. The only time it really doesn't help you out is against Stinger Shots. That's like the only thing. If a Hawker hits you, I think it does 10 damage, something like that. 15 maybe. It might do enough damage if you get hit by a Hawker to just heal. There's too many tall boys in the meta right now anyway. They're so strong, and True Grit's definitely the way to get to help with that.
Yeah, even with that, nerf tall boys are still some of the most fearsome people in there.
But they just buffed up the Crusher too, and the Crusher's grab, once he gets upgrades, it's going to do 15 damage.
All right, Vanguard. So this is melee kills grant 1 temporary health to you and nearby teammates.
I'd say it's lower, one lower than Battle Lust. I would say it's good. Let's say C tier. I'd say it's good. It's good against the Reeker because it'll give your whole team that temporary health. But it's just so niche. It's in my build, I only get this card second round. I don't even have it as a starter card. It's just just a little bit of extra temporary health in order to keep me alive. It's almost not even noticeable.
All right, vitamins plus 25 health. Yeah, I never build this.
Me neither. It's on my max health build though. When I am trying to get real tanky, it's the card that'll give you, most flat health that'll be affected by percentages after. And so if you have vitamins and then you apply your experienced EMT, that's going to be an extra, I don't know, like 12 health or something, less than that, like 6 health.
Yeah, so if you start with this card and then, 20% of that, about 6 health. Yeah,
and if you're playing Walker, you're going to get 2.5 extra health just for picking this card.
Yeah, so, yeah. If you really care about health and running around, then you could get a lot of health with it. But so many other cards you can get. It's not useful to get 5 cards just to get 25 health, but you can get up to this amount of health from just building most of these other more useful cards.
Yep, your cross trainers and your experienced EMT are going to give you more health than the vitamins, and it's going to be more utility. You're going to get a whole bunch of different stats.
Yeah, so I say not a fan.
Well fed, man. I'd say that this card right here is just a little bit better than vitamins.
Plus 10 team health and 25% team. Put it over here then.
Yeah, it's 40 health, right? Like if your whole team has 100 health and you pick this card, each teammate gets 10 health. If you have a Walker on your team, each teammate gets 11 health.
Yeah, and so the stamina regen only affects you.
Yes, and so it's kind of like taking that burden on yourself.
If you're building a deck where you don't need stamina regen, it's only stamina regen. So you minus 75% stamina regen just from this card. So if you weren't running this card, then you could probably for sure,
get cross trainers.
You could for sure take that 25% smack. If you have a Holly, she's giving you anyway.
10% damage resistance for Holly.
And then, she also herself gets increase in stamina.
Yeah, for everyone she kills, she gets 10.
And then, so if you're running this and that, then you just got to make sure you're not relying on stamina regen at all. So
just don't sprint.
And this is a good card to run if you're afraid your team's not going to be able to survive very long. Mm-hmm. Everyone having that health increase as well as that you experience EMT.
And it does stack. So if you have multiple people on your team, and all you got to do to negate its effect is pick cross trainers. 1 cross trainers, 1 well fed you're on 3 people on your team could increase everyone's health by a shitload. So, and then in conjunction with experienced EMT, that's how you get the maximum health. There's no other way for your whole team to get super tanky.
Yeah, you get that heal last. Also, if you heal your teammates before the game starts, the round starts, they'll still get that heal, that increase in health.
Nice.
And so that's all the cards. That's all we got.
Yeah, if you want to pause here, check it out. We can scroll down just a little bit so you can kind of see it a little better, but that's it.
Thanks for watching. Consider a like and subscribe. Tallboy McCoy here.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for making it to the end.
Yeah, and we will see you next time with another tier video, map video, or dope highlight video.
Coming soon.